Welcome back. This podcast explores the wisdom of generosity from ancient to modern and the beautiful space where generosity occurs. Happy Tuesday! Since Monday was Memorial Day in the United States, I'm releasing this episode a day later than normal. As I conduct trainings for capital campaigns, there is often a question about public pledges of support. For the donor, is it just about ego? If it is, then often that affects our perception of the donor. But what if there's an alternative explanation? This week, I am reading quotes from A Narrow Link Between Generosity and Happiness by S.Q. Park and several researchers, published in 2017 in Nature Communications. Quote, "Human societies benefit from their members' generous behavior, such as donating to charity or volunteering one's time. Generous behavior is costly, as it involves the investment of one's own resources for the benefit of others. Nevertheless, generous behavior is common and occurs even in situations in which reputation or the reinforcing experience of relieving a recipient's distress are irrelevant. For these reasons, standard economic theory fails to explain generous behavior. Economics, psychology, biology, and philosophy have attempted to elucidate possible motives of generous behavior. Proposed motives, such as helping kin, reciprocation, or reputation, have limited explanatory power for the persuasive propensity of humans to be generous in different settings. One further explanation for generous behavior is its link to happiness. The warm glow experienced when acting for the benefit of others has been proposed as a mechanism that reinforces generous behavior in humans. Our data suggests that a commitment to generous behavior can increase happiness and therefore provide a neural mechanism that links commitment-induced generosity to happiness. Alternative factors such as trait empathy, individual differences in prosociality, and familiarity and liking of the recipient were not significantly correlated to generous behavior. We find that a public pledge to be generous efficiently boosted generous behavior and happiness in experimental relative to control recipients who had previously committed to spend money on themselves. The behavioral and neural changes induced by this method are striking, considering that participants had neither received nor spent any money at the time of the experiment. Public pledges are widely used to motivate future pledges. Also, in laboratory experimental settings, it has been shown that pre-commitment influences behavioral and neural self-control mechanisms. On a psychological level, pre-commitment could induce a preference for avoiding inconsistency, leading people to act in line with their past or committed behavior. Our study provides behavioral and neural evidence that supports the link between generosity and happiness." Unquote. While I would encourage you to read this research paper for more insights about generosity as seen through MRI scans, it has interesting implication for us as fund development professionals. Our perceptions of the motivations of donors can affect the ways we offer donors to give. A public pledge of support, perceived as an ego-driven gift, can lead us to not give donors the opportunity to make these public pledges of support. On the other hand, a public pledge of support perceived as increasing happiness and consistency can lead us to make more opportunities available. Let us reflect on two questions this week. How do we perceive donors who insist on a public pledge? Do we perceive these donors as acting out of ego, or, as this research shows, acting in a way that increases happiness and consistency? Share this podcast if you enjoy these 5-minute reflections and subscribe to receive these reflections released every Monday. To explore fundraising coaching deeper, visit servingnonprofits.com. See you next week.